hopefully you can hear us now. So sorry for the issues. We are rolling week 10. Apologize. Man, we had a great start to the last broadcast. We had 8. Hopefully we get everybody joined back in here and get this show on the road. So do apologize to our listeners for the issues. So get this thing rolling. All right, so catch everybody up. We talked about how a couple of weeks ago I said Hedden Hooker would be number 1 in the Heisman race. He is now. Gators had a rough week last week, but they covered the spread by half a point. Top 4 teams in the playoff poll right now: Tennessee, Ohio State, Georgia, and Clemson. And we know that thing is first time out, so we know for a fact things will be changing. So, because people have to play head-to-heads with much tougher teams, and the top teams are playing each other. Obviously, we've got number 1 and number 3 that will be leading the charge this week and on Saturday at 3:30 in Athens, Georgia. So, and Ian says much better. Thank you, Ian. Thank you for your patience, sir. Hopefully we can get these 8 people back. It was going to be fun. All right. So, we're going to go straight to the games. There's no reason to talk about last week again.
Oh, yes, there is. Hold on now. Hold on.
We need to get right
Stop
to
it.
the games, Mike.
Stop it. Real quick, we need to fill in the people who weren't able to hear us in the last video. We got to fill them in what they missed on. And part of that, Dave, is last week's recap. So let me just put that up on the board real quick.
Oh, I've got to do this again, Mike?
Yeah, unfortunately for you. So if you guys just want to take a look over here on, over here on this left side, you're going to see Gator Dave's record. It's not terrible, 6-6. It's not under. It's not over, though, either. If you want to take a look over here on that far right side, 8-3-1. Not too shabby. Not too shabby, if I say so myself. We're coming for that medal. You see it under Gator Dave's name over there on that right side. Yep, right there next to his beautiful face. We are coming for that medal. He's held it all season long. Not much longer, folks. Not much longer.
All right. No, this week we'll push way past.
Nah, this week, well, you could. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. But we do only have 4 out of the 12 that we agree on, so there's plenty of potential movement coming here. All right, sir. You want to get into it?
All right, so we got Western Kentucky. We got 3 garbage games to start with, or actually 2 to start with. But Mike says they're great betting games for those of you that do that. So we got Western Kentucky coming in at 5-4, Charlotte at 2-7. Austin Reed from Western Kentucky, 70%, 27-62 on yards, 22-6. Chris Reynolds at 65%, 17-99, 19-9. Western Kentucky 6-3 against the spread, and Charlotte is 3-6. Charlotte did have a big win over Rice this past weekend, but we know they fired the coach. I think they fired the athletic director. It's trash over there. I'll be honest with you, in this game, Mike, I don't think either team is going to stop the other. And I think it's just going to be up and down, up and down, up and down that field. So I am really going out on a limb here because I thought 16 is a lot of points. I'm going over the 72 points, Mike, in this game. What say you, sir?
I say that's a whole lot of points, Gator Dave.
It is.
Yeah, I am on. Shoot. Hold on, they still can't hear me. Ian, you can hear me? Everybody still good on audio? Hold on.
What is he saying? Hold on.
I am on Western Kentucky minus 13 here. I think 72 is.
I thought it was 16, bro.
What is it now?
I think it's 16, buddy. Come on now. 13.
I'll take him 16. That's fine.
Color.
No, I'll take him 16. That's comfortable. Charlotte is dookie. All right. With all due respect to
so
what they got going on
16.
over there.
Let's make sure we change that, partner.
Hey, I'm changing it right now, Gator Dave. Don't you worry there.
Navarsky, I'm not going to say that until it happens there, my friend. Even though my wife would like me to say that, I am not at this point. So after this weekend, we see what happens.
We'll be talking about that game shortly.
Stay tuned. All right, so Mike, you got 16, Western Kentucky minus 16. All right.
Yep.
Trash game number 2, South Alabama, 6-2 against Georgia Southern at 5-3. I mean, they're actually, at least they got good records. So Carter Bradley for South Alabama, 66%, 2,000 yards, 14-5. Kyle Van Treese for Georgia Southern, 62%, 27-04, 18-12. South Alabama is 5-3 against the spread. Georgia Southern 6-2 against the spread. South Alabama, one thing to point out, they only lost to UCLA by 1 point at UCLA earlier in the year. So I don't know where Mike's going with this, but I am thinking the better bet here in being faux sure is to bet the over here because it's only 60, and I think these two offenses have enough to put up 60 points total. What say you, Mike?
I think that's a strong possibility, but yeah, you know where I'm at. South Alabama, money line, they're going to get it done. Fuck Statesboro. Next play we got here is going to be, who is it? Who's Boise State playing? BYU?
BYU
yeah.
at Boise State.
On the blue turf.
BYU is 4-5. Boise 6-2. These teams are almost the opposite of where we thought they were going to be at this time. Jaron Hall for BYU 66%, 22-45, 21-3. Taylor Green 67%, only 862 at 4-4 because he's the backup. So BYU is a paltry 2-7 against the spread, and Boise's 4-3-1. This is a big rivalry game, but it is a Boise State. Again, a lot of BYU were going to be the team this year, but they turned into hot garbage. And Mike, I think you'll remember 2 weeks ago, I told you that the OC has made a difference at Boise, even though most people around here don't like the guys, especially somebody in Florida. Dirk Cutter is the offensive coordinator. They changed earlier in the year, and this Boise offense is clicking. Now, Jaron Hall looks like he might not play in this game, Mike. So thus you'll understand why I'm going where I'm going in a minute. BYU's defense is just not good. Liberty had a third-string quarterback in there and put up 41 on him. Boise's defense, however, looks pretty good. The weather will be rainy, by the way. I've done weather report on this one. These teams are kind of rolling in the opposite direction. I think Boise is going to roll here, and this is going to be a Gator Day block. Take Boise at -8.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is the one of the couple that we agree on this week. I'm also on Boise. I just like their defense. I think that's mainly going to be the biggest factor here, the biggest difference. I think their defense is much better than BYU. BYU has had a rough year. Rough last couple games. Offense has really, really struggled. Jaron Hall being banged up has a lot to do with that. Like you said, nothing's really going to change here, even if he does play, how effective he's going to be. I'm with you. Give me the Broncos. We were on them earlier in the year, though, and they let us down. So we got to switch that energy, switch that vibe.
I'm feeling good on this one. It's a lock, Mike. It's a lock.
Gator Dave lock. All right, I hear you.
Gator Dave lock.
All right, Gator Dave. What's that?
Next one, buddy.
You said what?
So you call the next one.
Okay. We're going to go to the ACC. We got Louisville taking on James Madison. It's at Louisville. I love this James Madison squad. Every game for them, this is their first year in FBS, so they are ineligible for a bowl game, ineligible for the playoffs, which is the stupidest rule. But so basically for them, every game that they play, it's like the bowl game. They're giving it their all, especially when they go against another team like Louisville. I'm sorry, and also this Louisville team. Satterfield, their head coach, has been on the hot seat for like the last 4 or 5 weeks. Malik Cunningham's been banged up all year long. He has not been that guy that everybody thought he was. He had Heisman potential at the beginning of this year. Hasn't been able to get it going. Give me James Madison in the points, +7. I like James Madison here. I think they have a chance to actually win this one outright as well. So maybe do a little some with that money line. What do you like, Dave?
So, Mike, I'm going to have to go against my Mike in this one. So, the deal is that the starting quarterback that's done so well for James Madison is likely out. If not, he's jacked up. We'll call it that. So if that's the case, we got Billy Atkins throwing at 45%, 2 TDs and 4 interceptions against Malik at 61%, 1254, 5-4. James Madison is 5-2, but we know, and Louisville's 5-3, but we know the schedules are quite different. James Madison has kind of lost its luster as of late. You know, they came on really strong, but they've lost a little luster. They lost their last 2 games against Marshall and Georgia Southern, who we said just a minute ago was going to get whooped, right? So the Cardinals have won their last 3 out of 4 games. Granted, they've been a roller coaster. Granted, Malik Cunningham's have been a roller coaster right with them. They beat Wade by 27 points last week. They beat Pitt by 14. I'm telling you, I feel quite comfortably saying that the Cardinals are going to win this one. My 7.5 or 7. Where are we at? 7.5 or 7?
For the line, 7.
7. So quite comfortable. Cards win. 7 points easy here.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I hear you, but I think that game last week, that Wake Forest Louisville game, I think that one was a bit of a fluke. That was super unlike Louisville. They're usually Wake. They're usually a team that takes care of the ball. Sam Hartman, for example, he's got 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions now after that game because he had 3 in that game. He only had 3 up until that game.
Yeah.
So. We'll see. I like that. First showdown of the week. All right.
Absolutely.
Now the game that we should have this one should have been dropped down a lot further. I don't know why we're talking about this one so early.
I just didn't take it out of the water. It was the time.
So it is. It's Miami Florida State week. It's a beautiful thing. Ooh, boy. You know what? You start me off, Dave. You go ahead, and I'll come in.
I'll start you off and give you my thoughts. So the Canes, they've had a little bit of trouble scoring as of late. It looks like Van Dyke is going to play in this game. I did not put my information that I normally put up there on the spread and such in this game. Let's see. What time is this game?
Prime time, baby.
Oh, is it? Is it a night game?
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to this game, Mike?
No. I was going to, but sold them. Sold them for like $400 each.
Wow. All right, so Florida State comes in at 5-3 against the spread. The Hurricanes are a paltry 1-7 against the spread. So FSU is 6th in the nation in yards per play. The Seminoles O-line looks better than last year. They're 12th in rushing right now. Jordan Travis looks like he's reading the field well. Miami's given up a lot of explosive plays on defense. FSU is better against the pass on defense. Miami's 116th in the nation in turnovers per game. One thing to remember is it is a rivalry game. So a lot of these stats and crap are out, and Mike's going to talk about that in a minute. So FSU showed up to play in all their games. I'll have to admit it. And right now, I'm not feeling good about where Florida State game will be at the end of the year. We'll see in the next few weeks, but if they played right now, I wouldn't be real happy, I don't think. FSU also has a number of guys that are coming back that were injured. They're similar to you guys, and I know you're going to talk about the injuries on the Miami side and guys coming back, but they've got guys coming back as well. I think Travis is going to throw for like 250 yards, and so I have to pick one of my two rivals, right? And I'm going to go with the stats, the numbers, and I'm going to say Florida State to cover the 7 points.
All right.
Sorry, bud.
Noted, Dave.
Speak your piece.
Noted. I don't feel confident about it, to be honest. I thought this was going to be a game at the beginning of the year or in the offseason. I circled early. I thought it was going to be a great one. Looking forward to it. Florida State got the best of us last year, kind of on some BS, to be frank about it. But it worked out in our favor. We got Cristobal out of it, so it'll work out in the long run. But yeah, this is a game that I was very confident about going into this year. I felt like it was going to be one that I was going to hammer when the game came around, when it comes to the books. Not really feeling as confident at the moment. It's been a rough season. It's not really been anything different, than what we've been used to. So, but it hasn't been good, and it hasn't been good. So, but like you said, it's a rivalry game. It's going to be sold out. Like, everybody likes to joke around about the Hurricanes and our stadium and our fans. We don't show up at games. If it's 12 o'clock in Miami on a Saturday, people aren't going to go burn their fucking ass off sitting in a blue seat for 3 hours watching a team struggle against Middle Tennessee State or Duke. And you just got to be real about that. There's a lot better things to be doing in Miami than watch a team get their ass kicked. It's just point blank simple. This one, however, is a primetime game. It's sold out. It's going to be 66,000 people in that thing, which is about 3 times probably more than what they've been used to all year in that stadium so far, because they haven't played anybody at home this year yet.
Right.
It is going to be a rowdy environment. It's going to be super hostile. I wish I sold these tickets real early in the season, because I'm going, to these other games later in the year. But man, it is, because honestly, I thought no way in hell are they going to give us the primetime slot. Both of these teams suck. It's going to be a 12 o'clock game on, Bally Sports, and I'll watch it, through ESPN3, and it is what it is. I did not think we were getting primetime here. So here we are. But man, I'm telling you, when that place gets rocking, So game wise, that's what worries me. Actually, on the field, I think the environment is going to be epic. It's going to be great. On the field shit is my worry. Like you said, Florida State's getting a lot of guys back, specifically on the defensive line. Miami, our true weakness has been O-line for the last 20 years. That's why we brought Cristobal in. That was the biggest emphasis and biggest key about that hire, in my opinion, was the fact that he had O-line experience. It's been rocky. We've had a lot of injuries so far. It hasn't been really up to par. It's had, its moments. But, man, that Florida State defensive line gets after it. So if those guys are healthy and they're causing issues for our run game, it's going to be a problem. But the biggest thing for our offense is we got Tyler Van Dyke coming back. He's going to be able to sling it. Apparently, he's having no issues with his shoulder anymore. Also, his leading receiver and his roommate, Xavier Restrepo, he's been out all year with an injury. He is back for this game. This is his first game back. It's his go-to guy, right-hand man. You're going to look for him to be fed a lot in this game. I think that's big time that he has somebody that he can rely on, not only with Colby Young, who has stepped in his own. Now to have that another guy, it's going to be huge for him and his confidence. Gaddis, get it together, man. Get it together. I got faith, but come on, bro. But yeah, man, you know where I'm at. Miami +7. Do something with the money line. I'll get to a little parlay in a little bit that you could throw on there, but I like Miami to get it done. I think this is one of those games, especially even if we don't get it done, this is a game that's going to be, 27-21, 27-24. It's going to be tight. Take the points.
All right.
And Ian, who's in the chat right now, he will be watching with me. He is in Noel, so I hope to be collecting his tears in a jar until next year.
There you go. We shall see.
Drinking them just like that. All right.
Next game.
Who do you got? We got Clemson, Notre Dame. Clemson is visiting Notre Dame. Clemson's a top 5 team. They got put into that playoff spot when they totally shouldn't have. TCU should be there. That's a whole nother argument for a whole nother day. I like Notre Dame in this slot, Dave. I think Clemson's riding high right now. I think they're sitting pretty. I think this is going to be the biggest game of Notre Dame's season. Everything, all of that bullshit that they've gone through at the beginning of this year, everybody said Marcus Freeman's ass. He's not going to be the guy. They're getting killed by Stanford. They're getting beat. We don't even need to discuss who they lost to. We don't need to relive that for Notre Dame fans. I think this game right here, they compete in. I think they have a shot to win it. Ultimately, I do think Clemson probably pulls this one out, just like they always do with these games. They play these super tight games, but they find a way to win. I think that's ultimately what's going to happen here. But give me Notre Dame in the points, +3.5. I think it's going to be a competitive game, and I think Notre Dame has a shot to win at the end. What do you like, Dave?
So, Clemson obviously comes in at 8-0, and like you said, I don't think they should be ranked 4 right now either. Notre Dame's 5-3. DJU 64%, 1803, 17-4. Drew Pine 62%, 1193, 13-4. Both teams are 4-4 against the spread, so we kind of come in even there. Clemson's always got to prove themselves on the road. This is going to be the toughest environment that they've, been in for an away game, obviously this year. But the Irish have lost to Marshall, and we'll call that one a fluke. But they lost to Stanford too at home. And Notre Dame in their last 6 games, Mike, is 1-6 against the spread at home. Notre Dame's only throwing the ball about 36% of the time. They've got pretty high winds and showers possible there at the game, which We know, and you talk very highly of Mr. Shipley and his running ability, which I think is really going to come into play in this game. Clemson is only allowing 3.14 yards against the rush. They've got a good D line. They always have a good D line. So I think they're going to be able to stop that run from Notre Dame. And Notre Dame's not the greatest in terms of running the ball. I think Clemson, like I say, is going to run. DJ's going to dink and dunk. And if he can handle that and doesn't get too frazzled, they've always got their boy on the bench. I think Clemson and 3.5 points here is easy money and a Gator Day block.
Right on. All right. And real quick, because Ian's talking shit in the chat, I also want to make one more point about that Miami-Florida State game. Florida State is not going to have their annoying-ass band at this game. They will not be there. So all that,
we're not going to hear
all that annoying-ass, exactly. It's not going to be a factor at all at this game. It's a Miami home game. It's going to be different. I'm telling you. It is going to be... It's gonna be good times. Wish we were there. Should be there, but I fucked up. All right. Well, I didn't fuck up. I'm going to other ones, but we'll go to the next year one. All right. UNC. Who is that? Who do they play?
Virginia.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That font's weird on the. Yep. UNC Virginia. I'm gonna keep mine short and sweet here, Dave. I like the under. I like Virginia's defense. Not really a fan of the offense whatsoever. And basically the flip-flop goes for UNC. Not a fan of the defense, but offense is stout. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. Ultimately, I think it's going to be a lot of running the ball, a lot of incomplete passes, a lot of punts, a lot of field goals. Give me the under. It's under 61, so it's a pretty high total. Give me that under. Who do you like here, Dave?
So, you know, they're coming in 7-1. Virginia's 3-5. Drake May just tearing it up. I mean, 71%, 26, 71, 29, and 3. I mean, just unconscious. He's easy in the top few quarterbacks in the nation, especially as young as he is.
They're a freshman.
Yeah. And North Carolina is 4-3-1 against the spread. Virginia is 3-5. UNC won this game last year, 59-39. Virginia is not going to get near 39 points. So Virginia scored 12 points last week. So, you know, I kind of get where you're coming from on
against that super stout Miami defense, Dave. That's where you're failing to point out there.
I forgot about that, Mike. That's what it was.
You know, that's a factor. You know.
So Virginia's they're just not good. Their O-line's giving up 7 tackles per loss per game. UNC's been slightly better on defense. It's gotten better as the year's gone on. It's still trash, but Drake May's the man. And that offense is one of the best in the country. Fast pace. It's not as fast as Tennessee. Virginia 128th in turnovers per game this year. So they're going to be turning the ball over. They've averaged 16 points a game. This one is Tar Heels by those 7 points. Another Gator Day block.
Doom. All right. Locking it in. We are done with the ACC now. You're welcome, everybody. We're finally done with the ACC. On to the SEC for the last, 5 games? First one to kick it off, we got Kentucky and Missouri. This is going to be an ugly game. I do not want any part of it. I don't want to watch it. If I had to take something on it, which Gator Dave is forcing me to do, I'm going to take the under here. It's going to be under 40. I think it's going to be ugly, but I also lean towards Mizzou on this. I like their quarterback, and I love their kicker. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Man is built like a fucking beer keg. Just watch it. Watch him play. Watch him kick. It's a fucking show in itself. Give me the under and give me Mizzou by 1,000. Who do you like here, Dave?
All right, so Kentucky's 5-3, Missouri 4-4. Levis is losing his luster. 68%, 17, 33, 13, and 8. Cooks at 65%, 16, 52, 6 and 7. Both teams are 5-3 against the spread. The crossover game here. Kentucky beat the Gators. Missouri lost to the Gators. Both teams are scoring about 24 points a game. Mizzou has won its last 2 games. Kentucky's lost 3 of its last 4 games. But if you look at the schedules, you'd understand why. Levis had 3 interceptions in his last game. But I think he bounces back, and I'm going to go Kentucky and the money line.
All right, right on. Next game we got is your game. Your squad is taking on the Texas A&M Aggies. Do you want me to start it or you want to take it over? It's your call here.
Well, go ahead and I'll get my dissertation after you.
All right, well, I'll keep mine short and sweet.
All right.
Florida Gators are bad, okay? We saw them play last week live. They're terrible. They're awful. First half was atrocious. They had so many opportunities against Georgia in that first half that they just blew. Overthrown passes, dropped balls. They got turnovers that they didn't capitalize on. Giving up big plays like the one to Brock Bowers down the sideline where he's juggling it, and now it's on SportsCenter top 10. I mean, you can't do that when you're playing a top 3 team in the nation. And that's exactly what they did. They still fought back in the second half. Actually, were in that game close towards the end. They had a shot until ultimately Georgia pulled away. But I just don't know how they're going to get up for this one. After that game, Napier dismissed one of y'all's best defensive players, the defensive lineman Cox. Another guy just transferred yesterday, one of your DBs. So things are not great there in Florida right now as these guys are trying to get used to Napier's new style and new culture and new mindset. It sounds like, same sort of similar situation with Miami. Some guys want to work and some guys want to play just because they think that they're better in their minds kind of deal. So they got to weed out that toxicity. It's a process. I don't think that those 2 guys leaving is necessarily going to change a whole lot going into this week. So give me Jimbo and his quality experience against the Gators in the past, and I'll take Texas A&M money line in this one. All right, Dave.
All right. So Gators are 4-4. The Aggies are 3-5. Richardson is 55%, 16-38, 7-7. Quarterback for Saturday will be the freshman, Connor Wegman, who last week threw for 338 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions.
Throwing dimes.
Florida is 4-4 against the spread. A&M is 3-4-1 against the spread. This is a tough environment. I don't care how bad the program is and how much in shambles it is. It's a tough environment for any visiting team. The 12th man and all that hoorah, right? We know A&M's a hot mess, and they've got all kinds of issues on and off the field. The Aggies have lost their last 4 games, however. Florida tends to the good thing that I see about Napier and team is that team doesn't quit in the second half. It's been that way all year. They come charging back in a number of games. Obviously, Saturday, wasn't quite enough. And we did see a lot of hard garbage. I mean, Richardson just missing wide open receivers. Richardson throwing.
Wait, we saw that?
We saw that. Yes. So, he's so inconsistent. Obviously, 55% is not good, and he can't seem to make it happen, and I'm obviously very concerned for the next 4 games and even be able to squeak out 2 wins. But we don't hope in the second half. A&M's averaging 23 points a game. Florida's averaging 30. The Gators are giving up 30 points a game, and A&M's only giving up 21. One thing I noticed, Florida's actually better on third down efficiency than the Aggies. I thought we sucked. We suck on third downs, but they suck worse. So, Gator Dave says this quarterback Wegman is going to have a field day with our defense, and I'm taking Texas A&M in the money line. Being real. I'm being real for the peeps out there. They might want to put some money on this game.
I'm sure they appreciate your honest, unbiased opinion, which, unlike the NFL show, and most specifically,
with all the homers on that show.
That's right.
Loaded with homers.
Bunch of Steelers fans. All right. We got 3 left for you guys, and then we'll get out of here. Biggest game of the week we're going to talk about right now, Tennessee at Georgia. Those games, starting price for the tickets right now are like $650 just to get in. Best seat in the house that is available is like $6,000. Absolutely insane. Athens is going to burn to the ground whether they win or lose. They still might burn that city to the ground. It is going to be absolutely nuts. Man, it's hard to call this one. It really is. Georgia's got a fantastic defense. Their offense is really starting to come into their own, too, with these new pieces that they've brought in since, they lost so many guys last year. The biggest thing for me in this game, I think, is Nolan Smith is looking like he is not going to play. The linebacker for Georgia. That is a massive, massive loss of that defense. And this Tennessee offense, man, clicks. They get that ball from play to play. Their speed is insane. Josh Heupel, his teams have always been fast, but man, Tennessee runs that thing so quickly. It causes that defense to kind of, get it together on the fly, and Nolan Smith is that guy that brings it together for Georgia. So not having him on that field, somebody's going to have to step up in that role. It'll be really interesting to see how they, react in that situation. I think Tennessee's for real. I really do. I think they might get clipped by Bama in the SEC championship. It's hard to beat a team twice in the same year, but I think Tennessee's got a really good shot to actually go in and potentially beat this Georgia team. Give me Tennessee +8. I think the fact also that you're getting a touchdown and then some in this game, it's a top 3 matchup. Tennessee's proved themselves against top-ranked opponents already this year. Georgia struggled a little bit. Give me Tennessee, man. Give me Tennessee in the points. Let's see if they get it done. Who do you like here?
Yeah. So both teams obviously coming in undefeated 8-0. Hooker now the Heisman hopeful 71%, 23-38 on yards, 21-1. Bennett's at 67%, 23-49 at 9-3. The Vols are 7-1 against the spread. Georgia's 4-4 against the spread. There's a lot of experience on the Tennessee team. That's the other thing to look at is they've got one of the most experienced rosters out there. The average age, instead of being 19 or 20, it's like freaking 21, 22. They've got a lot of experience out there. Now, the one key to Georgia is obviously their tight ends and making it happen with those guys. That's what they're going to have to do. But stopping that offense that no one has stopped yet is going to be an issue. And Nolan Smith is the quarterback for the defense. I mean, I've listened to a lot of sports talk this week, and a lot of people are worried because he's the guy that makes it happen. He's the guy that puts the people in the right places. And this offense is, you need a good quarterback on that defense. And this is huge, him not being there. The Vols blew out Kentucky last week. Levis looked horrible against them. So their defense is coming around as well. They're going to have to shut down Georgia's running game. Bennett did throw for 300 yards against us, but that's not saying anything. Tennessee secondary is worse rated than the Gators. So, he's got to throw the ball. And he's got to throw the ball better than he did against us. Because, when I looked at the replay against our game, he wasn't throwing crisp. Even the passes that got there weren't crisp, and he missed a lot of receivers. I mean, he should have thrown for 400 against us. Georgia's secondary does allow a lot, has allowed some explosive plays as of late, even against our wimpy offense. Georgia has to play their game, and not try to play the running gun and try to outrun the Vols. The key here is if Georgia can get some stops, in a row, if they can get a couple of stops in a row and do their thing, they'll be okay. But I'll be honest, Mike, and whoever else is out there, I just don't see it until somebody can prove it. I don't know if anybody can stop this Vols offense and the way it rolls. And if we're getting 8 darn points, it's crazy not to take it. I think the Vols could win. But getting 8 points, I mean, lordy, you got to take that. So I'm going with the Vols and the points here.
Yeah, and this is also a 3:30 kickoff. It's not like it's a primetime game either, which I think is, a lot of people don't like to make that a big deal into the kickoff times and that being a factor. It 100% does. It sets the tone for the game. The fact that it's 3:30 and not primetime in Athens, it's going to make a little bit of a difference. It can be super intimidating at night. It's still going to be an intimidating environment. They're going to bring it. Kirby Smart has already said if you leave there and you still have your voice, you didn't scream enough. So It is going to be a loud environment. I really look forward to watching that one.
Absolutely.
All right, next one we got here is Liberty at Arkansas. Gator Dave, please tell me why you put this one on the board.
I just thought it was interesting, and I know how much you like Liberty, but I know how you're gonna roll on this one though. So Liberty's 7-1, Arkansas 5-3. Jonathan Bennett for Liberty is 57%, 939, 8-7. Not that great. KJ Jefferson, however, comes in at 68%, 1697, 15-1. He's back in the pack and getting after it. Both teams are 4-4 against the spread. The Razorbacks have won their last 2 games against Auburn and BYU. We know BYU's kind of garbage. The crossover game is BYU. Both teams have played BYU. Both teams beat BYU by 27 points. Liberty doesn't have the big squad, the big SEC squad, so obviously they're going to struggle. They're not going to win the game. I can tell you that. KJ's looked a little better as of late. The Razorbacks really have no pass defense, so Liberty should be able to throw the ball. Both teams averaging 31, 33 points a game. Liberty's defense is actually decent, only allowing 21 points a game. The Hogs are giving up 32. I just think, and that's why I took this one, Mike, but I don't know. Maybe it's your influence on me about Liberty, and I know you're going to go the opposite way, but I'm going to take Liberty in those 13.5 points.
I love it. Absolutely love it. It's actually up now. It's up to 14.5.
Well, 14.5 it is.
So there you go. Love it. Love the Liberty influence that I've have on you. And believe it or not, I'm gonna rock with Liberty as well, sir. Plus 14.5. I like it. I think this is a game that Arkansas easily overlooks this squad. They're coming off a pretty big win last week against Auburn. Bigger win at home the week prior. Or no, not at home, at BYU. Now they're playing Liberty at home. They got LSU next week, who's top 10 right now. They're ranked 10. We'll get into that game next. That's the last game we're going to be discussing. But, it'll be interesting to see if Arkansas is looking ahead a little bit in that opportunity, in that slot. I think they do. This Arkansas defense sucks, to be point-blank period about it. It is not the same team that they were last year. They don't really have that identity. They're really lacking it. And like you said, that pass defense can definitely be exposed. I think Liberty is going to do just that. Liberty absolutely hammered BYU at home in their last game. And that's with Jonathan Bennett still at quarterback for them. They have a shot at potentially getting Corey Brewer back for this game against Arkansas. So that's another thing also. Give me the points. Let's do it. Like you said, I really don't think that they have a shot in winning the game. But in concerns of covering, yeah, I think they're going to compete 100%. Hugh Freeze just got that big deal. He's basically Liberty. He's about to, go all in with this program, I think. So give me Liberty in the points. All right. And it's against the SEC. Hugh Freeze, another shot back at the SEC. He would love to have it. All right, last game that we're going to talk about out of the 12, and then we'll get the recap up on the board for y'all and get out of here. We got LSU and Alabama. Gator Dave, what do you like?
So this is another big game.
Another big game, top 10 matchup.
Yes. Alabama 7-1, LSU 6-2. Bryce Young, 1,900 yards, 18-3. Caden Daniels, 70%. Jaden Daniels, 18-12 on the yards, 12-1. Both teams are 5-3 against the spread. It is a night game in Tiger Stadium. We all know night games in Tiger Stadium, tough place to play.
That's right.
The road team in this matchup is 6-0 against the spread. I thought that was interesting. Bama's rushing is 77th in the nation. They only rushed for 1.07 yards last week against Mississippi State. So they had trouble running the ball. Both teams have lost to Tennessee, but we know Bryce Young is a stud. But Daniels is looking much better and in control. And he's it's funny. If Florida State and LSU played right now, it would be a totally different game. But both those quarterbacks look very similar. Both of them are in control. Both of them can run the ball when they need to. I mean, Daniels is the whole offense right now for LSU, which is a lot to stack up, LSU's a little weak against the pass. Bama's O-line has gotten better. But like I said, Jaden Daniels is everything to this LSU offense. I think Bama, I think they'll be able to cut off the short passes, and Daniels is going to have to run the ball. If he can stay healthy, I think they have a good game. I don't think that LSU is going to win, but I think 13 points is enough points for me to go with the Tigers here, Mike.
Yeah, that's fair. This LSU team is exactly where I had them at the beginning of the year. Other than that Florida State loss at the beginning, I had them at 10-2 final. They're sitting at 5-2 right now. Like I said, that Florida State loss would have and could have been a little bit different, but this is their humble game, in my opinion. This is where Brian Kelly and the LSU Tigers get brought back down to earth. You're not there yet. You're still not that guy, pal. He's riding real high after beating Lane Kiffin at home, upsetting them. I just don't see it happening. I think this is going to be one of those epic Brian Kelly top 5, top 10 matchups where he just drops the ball and they're going to get absolutely hammered in Death Valley. And everybody's going to switch immediately from going, yep, Brian Kelly's the guy. We found our guy to, fire this guy. What are we doing? It was a nightmare. Why do we have this guy? He can't beat Alabama. He can't compete with him. I think that's what's going to happen. Give me Bama minus 13. Bama is on a kill mission right now. They know that they can't afford to slip up in any of these games. They got to get to the SEC championship and win it in order to get into that playoff. They know this. So look for every one of their games for the rest of the season to be absolutely 100% effort from Bama. Nick Saban's going to get all of it. And unfortunately, that leaves LSU right in the crosshairs. And yeah, I think this is the game where they get humbled and get brought back down to earth a little bit. Give me Bama minus 13. All right, Dave. Recap going up, and then we can get out of here, sir. You got the over in the Western Kentucky-Charlotte game. I got Western Kentucky minus 16. I am on South Alabama money line. You are on the over in the Georgia Southern-South Alabama game. We are both on Boise State minus 8. I am on James Madison plus 7. Also think that they might be able to win outright in that one. You are on Louisville minus 7. You're also on Florida State minus 7. I'm on Miami plus 7. Think we can win outright in that one as well. Notre Dame plus 3.5. I'm on them. You are on Clemson money line. I think Notre Dame's going to have a shot at the end. So, if you're considering a potential money line parlay here, we got a couple good ones for you. You like UNC minus 7. I am on the under in that game. UNC Virginia under 61. I'm also on the under in the Kentucky-Missouri game under 40. You like Kentucky money line. We're both on Texas A&M money line against your Gators. Tennessee plus 8.5 against the Georgia Bulldogs. We both like them there, and we both like them to potentially have a shot to win that one as well. We both like Liberty against Arkansas. You don't think they got a shot. I don't think they got a shot. But again, it never hurts to put something on it. It's 14.5, even if you just sprinkle a little dust. You never know. Last but not least, you are on LSU plus 13. I'm on Alabama minus 13. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your show.
That is it. And again, we apologize to those guys that got on early, that jumped in the chat, and we had all our technical difficulties. But we got it back and rolling, so hopefully everybody jump back in and watch the tape version later on. We appreciate everybody watching. Please remember to subscribe and like. That helps us out 100%. We're enjoying what we're doing every week for you guys, and just having fun, man. This is awesome. It's awesome. So hopefully we'll see what happens this week, and we'll see everybody next week. And go Gators! Right on. Thanks for joining me, Gator Dave. Go Canes! Florida State Hate League, baby. FS Poo going down. All right. Week 10.